It's always good when you get a smart guy on the show, so we have one today, and it's not me. Gordon Bethune, former Continental Airlines CEO, joining us now. We're going to pick your brain in the generous time we have allotted for this.
Thank you.
Every time I board a plane, generally Continental/United now, it's full. Can we garner that that's a reflection of a better economy or fewer seats?
Well, I think it's fewer seats because these guys, I mean, we used to have, what, 20 airlines, and we're getting it down to a manageable number. So you're only as good as your dumbest competitor. So people are not throwing capacity out there anymore. They're managing the capacity, and that's why they're full.
You know, airlines, I believe, are expecting their third most profitable year since 2001, but it's largely thanks to the fact that they're completely and utterly wringing us dry in terms of the various fees. Surely there's not that much more they can place a fee on. So where's the next leg of growth going to come from?
Well, it's obviously revenue, but managing the capacity to make sure that the costs don't exceed the revenue, and they're doing a good job. This new merger with American and U.S. Air is going to be a plus for the economy.
They've got the right leadership. New leadership announced today.
Smart people coming into the company understand the equation. You know, not measuring market share, but measuring profitability. I think sometimes, you know, the creditors committees kind of slap them around a little bit and make sure they do the right thing.
What's your biggest single concern right now about the economy?
Well, you know, you look at Europe, I don't think it's going to have any GDP growth next year at all. Maybe we'll have 2%. We see the S&P moving, but you don't see large international manufacturing corporations making capital investments. You don't see anybody hiring out there. Everybody's kind of holding back, waiting to see whether this bump, which I can think is cashing in on your dividends and your capital gains in 2012, so the Treasury gets a nice bump. But I don't see the jobs falling.
What's going to open the dam then? What's going to let that all just sort of open up and start flowing?
I think a resolution, confidence that we know what things are going to cost, what the government is going to do, and then people will make their decisions based on
confidence. You got the stock market around record highs.
Well, no, but
that's stuff happening out there.
And it doesn't comport with what's actually going on. So if somebody's smoking it, I don't know, you know. But definitely the S&P is going up when there's no real reason for it.
Well, you know, there is a reason in a bit, Gordon, which is that profits are up, and what scares me is why, right? Companies in the downturn had to lay people off. They had to run lean. Now they're realizing, hey, we can run lean. We don't need to rehire.
Absolutely.
We can squeeze more productivity out of the current people we have, right? Because you probably lay off the people that you might have wanted to lay off in the first place anyway. Will we ever see a return to significant hiring in this country? It's scary. Well, how many people are been unemployed for years, Gordon?
I think it's people. It's also inventory. You learned that you could live with a lot less inventory, so that didn't get replenished like it had. So all of those kind of behavioral adjustments leave scar tissue, and they just you measure twice, cut once. I'm not going to hire a guy until I know that I'm really going to keep him for a year or 2 years. And you just don't do it.
But you don't hire until that employee proves that they can pay for him or herself, right?
But you're
over time,
longer term too. You don't hire for the short term because you don't want to have to lay them off in 6 months. So you're looking for some confidence that you kind of know what next year is going to look like. Have you seen any signs what next year is going to look like?
I don't possess a crystal ball. Well, Brian just asked you what your number one...
She's on MSnbc.
Oh, that's right. She is indeed.
Show.
Yeah, great name. Brian just asked you what your number one concern is. So give us a little hopium here, which is our street science coined word. What is your number one thing out there that you're feeling most optimistic about?
Well, I want government, as everybody does, to resolve this impasse and get on with if we're going to revise corporate taxes, let's do it. Let's have a plan of spending. What is the spending level going to be? I mean, everybody, those are fundamentals. And so there doesn't seem to be any progress in getting those things. I hear a lot of talk, but we had that two Simpson bowls was a lot of talk.
We could just run this economy on talk. It'd be great.
Yeah. You know,
I mean, especially out of D.C., that is the real alternative clean energy, by the way.
Hot air.
Oh, really? Methane, some might suggest. Gordon, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate your insight.